What's going on, everybody? I am back with another Prizepicks college football player props video. This one going to be breaking it down, giving you guys 5 picks here to winning some money over here on Prizepicks for this week 2 college football slate. If you haven't checked out Prizepicks, would highly recommend you check them out, guys. It is a player props website and app where you can win money off of picking the over and under on things like players' passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards, pass and rushing yards, etc. Go ahead and use that promo code KJK DFS to receive an instant match on your first deposit up to $100 today. Again, that is code KJK DFS. Go to lock that in. Get that free money offer. And if you are going to be very serious, I do offer premium content packages. Just launched the college football package for Prizepicks, so it is up and live. I will be having an underdog package as well. That'll be up sooner rather than later. For now, we got the Prizepicks up. I also do offer the VIP member package if you want to get access to every single one of my picks for every single sports. We're going to have the NFL here soon. I'll have the NFL package up here today as well later on. And if you want to get access to, I got right now MLB, WNBA going on. We got NFL and college football. You can get access to every single one of those sports, all my picks for every single app as well in this VIP member package. Would highly recommend you check that out. A lot of extra perks being involved in the exclusive Discord as well. I send in my exact tickets anytime there's value. I'm headhunting for that value on all apps. Go ahead and send it in the Discord. I alert everyone you can get those tickets in. So there's a lot of perks that come along with being a VIP member. Not to mention the community that we have over there. A lot of sharp minds in there outside of myself that have joined. Some of them have learned from me along the way. Have gotten a lot better. Some of them already knew a lot. So it's a great mix of people to be around in that VIP member package. So check that out. If you're interested and if you enjoy this content, would be greatly appreciated if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. So we got 5 picks for you. Let's break it down. We'll go game by game, as we always do. And the first game I want to talk about is going to be Missouri taking on Kansas State. This game comes in with a 56.5 over-under. Kansas State are 290 favorites. It's a 7.5-point spread in favor of Kansas State. And I want to talk about their running back in Deuce Vaughn, because I really like this spot for him. His usage has been phenomenal, and I expect him to have a big game in this one, and more notably, I really like where his Prizepicks fantasy line is set. I think it's simply too low. You look at how he did in week 1. You can see 18 attempts, 126 yards for a touchdown on the ground. As far as his receptions, only had 1 reception, but on the ground, he was getting the job done really good, got in the end zone. I'm expecting a lot more of that from him here. And 34-0 win over South Dakota. Wasn't exactly the most competitive game, so it's not like they were really relying on him towards the end there. Got pulled a little bit early, but he was able to post his 7th straight 100-yard rushing game. Most productive Wildcat player with the new Adrian Martinez in town. Doesn't seem to be affecting him. I still expect his usage to be really good here. Getting a lot of carries on the ground. Multiple touchdowns here is what I'm guessing with this total being so high at a 56.5 over under 7.5 point spread in favor of Kansas State, so they're expected to put up some points here for sure. 56.6 implied total for them. Do expect him to be able to get in the end zone multiple times, like we just talked about. He has recorded multiple 100-yard rushing games. How many was it in a row? 7 straight games. So I've got him projected way over what Prizepicks has. I think he puts up 30-plus fantasy points in this spot, if not more. So pick number 1. Going to be rocking with the over on Mr. Deuce Vaughn's 23 fantasy score here on Prizepicks. Really do like this one. Week 1 only put up 19.8, but keep in mind, like I said, that game was a blowout. They weren't really reliant on him. Kind of got the early pull in that one. This one, they're favorites, so he should get the ball more if they get up in the ball game, but it's not too much of a favorite to where he's going to get pulled early. So I think it's a nice combo here. And like I said, I got him projected for way over. So pick number 1. Like the over 23 fantasy score for Deuce Vaughn. That'll be pick number 1 here. Pick number 2. We're going to go ahead and kick it on down to last year's Heisman winner, Bryce Young. Really like this spot for him taking on Texas. This game, once again, a massive total. This one's even higher total than the 56.5. We're not talking about the run game in this one, though. We're talking about the pass game with Bryce Young. He does run a ton on the ground as well, though. We know he can do it all, so I really like targeting him. I have a feeling we're going to be targeting him a lot in the season because he's so dynamic. He can get the ball on the ground. He can get it done on the ground. He can get it done through the air. As you can see in week 1, he had 18 completions on 28 attempts, 5 touchdowns in total through the air. And he also had a rushing touchdown, 100 yards rushing, 195 yards passing. I mean, that's what he does. His team's expected to put up a lot of points here as well, with the spread being 20.5 in favor of Bama and the over-under being at 64.5. Obviously, he's going to be involved in a lot of that scoring. And they're expected to put up, like, a ton of points here, man. I mean, you got to just have interest in the 21 favorite, a 20.5 favorite, excuse me, and a 64.5 over under with how involved he is. I mean, targeting QBs in general, just really, really smart, especially dynamic QBs. He's going to be touching the ball every play. He's going to have an opportunity to throw, rush, etc. every single play. He put up 43.8 in week 1, and I'm expecting more of the same here in week 2. So, kind of a don't overthink it spot here. The Vegas data indicating it. We know his underlying metrics indicate it with the ability to rush, the ability to throw, all the above. Surrounded by a lot of talented wide receivers as well. Everything adding up here for Bryce Young, so love this pick. Pick number 2, going to be rocking with the over 30 fantasy score here for Bryce Young. That'll be pick number 2. Pick number 3. We're going to talk about the next game, the very next game on the slate, actually. Here we're looking at Wake Forest taking on Vanderbilt. And we've got another dynamic QB in Sam Hartman. Just cleared, expected to be back in this one. And I'm really excited for this pick because, once again, very dynamic. I think he has a big game. We have another massive total in this one. This game coming in with a 65 over-under. It's a 13-point spread in favor of Wake Forest. So once again, the favorited quarterback in Sam Hartman that's going to be touching the ball every single play. Do expect him to have a big one here, and he can get the job done in multiple facets once again. He's been sidelined since August 10th with a non-football related medical issue, but he's been cleared. 14 games last season, he threw for 4,222 yards, 39 touchdowns, and then adding 364 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns on the ground for Hartman. So a similar story here. He's going to be touching the ball every single play. He can run it. He can throw it. All the above. I want to be getting exposure. And once again, a massive total should play in his favor. And then Wake Forest is favored with a 13-point favorite, 65-point spread. You can imagine the amount of points that they're going to be putting up here. Sam Hartman's going to be involved in every single one of those plays, most likely. Obviously, maybe the running back runs it in here and there, but for the most part, I think they're going to rely on Hartman via his legs, via the air, all the above. Once again, taking on Vandy. Big point total here. And another top fantasy point producer that I think has a massive game here in Sam Hartman. He's got to be excited to return to the field. Let's be honest, when you've been held out that long, you got to be amped up. 30 fantasy score, similar to the Bryce Young total, high total, but I am not worried about it. I think he's able to get the job done here on the fantasy once again. Like the over 30 fantasy score here for Sam Hartman as pick number 3. Similar story, dynamic QB. Really excited to get exposure to these two QBs today, so I want to be loading up on them. That's going to be pick number 3. Pick number 4. We're going to talk about Wisconsin taking on Washington State, and we're going to talk about a running back in this one. It's a 17-point spread in favor of Wisconsin with a 49 over-under, so Wisconsin expected to put up some points here, and I expect Mr. Allen to be a big part of that on the ground. As far as his fantasy score is concerned, 21 fantasy score here for Braylon Allen. I definitely have him clearing this. He put up 26.8 last week. Expecting more of the same as far as how he's getting the job done. Looking at how he was able to do it last week, you got to keep in mind, that game turned into a massive blowout as well. He recorded 148 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns on 14 carries. 96 yards scoring rush in the second quarter, new program high rushing attempt. However, he didn't really rack up a lot of yards after that, not really a lot of stats, but I think a big part of that had to do with the blowout. I mean, it just came down to they weren't really looking to push him anymore in that game. Got pulled a little bit early. I'd expect his usage to be up a lot more in this Washington State matchup here. And once again, he was able to get the job done last time out really easily. Put up a big fantasy score, putting up a total of 26.8 last time out. And that game wasn't really even all that close. This game expected to be a little bit closer here with a 17-point spread, 49 points as far as the over-under. Expect his usage to still be high, and I don't think he's going to get pulled quite as early. And once again, I mean, the fact of the matter is I haven't projected for over. I think he puts up at least in the mid-20s again, if not 30-plus as far as his upside's concerned. And when we're looking at his opponents, they rank 213th in the nation against running backs, so they're giving up lots of points to opposing running backs. Makes a lot of sense to be targeting him here. So pick number 4. You're rocking with the over 21 fantasy score for Braylon Allen. And pick number 5. Last one here. We're going to be kicking it on down to Illinois taking on Virginia. This game comes in with a 57.5 over-under. It's a 4-point spread in favor of Illinois. And we got another running back I'm going to talk about in Chase Brown. Once again, high usage. I think he's got a very friendly fantasy score over here on Prizepicks today. Pulling up him as far as his performance here in week 1, phenomenal. He had 19 attempts on the ground. He rushed for 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 3 receptions for 16 yards and another touchdown via the air. The usage was massive for Chase Brown, expecting it again. Continued his incredibly productive start to the 22 campaign. Even though they lost, they're relying on him in a major way. 36 carries the time previously, it was the report as well. So only 19 last time out, was able to get the job done. He's seen upwards of 30 carries in the past. I don't expect that to change here. Expect his usage to be really high. Once again, a 57.5, 4-point spread in favor of Illinois. Maybe a grounded out on the ground type of game. And I do have him projected for over on his fantasy score here as well today. So I want to be capitalizing on these high usage players, obviously. That's the key. Opportunities, everything. 21 fantasy score, I think, is simply too low. Last time out, he put up 21.5. Just clear the time before. 37, though. I think we kind of get back up towards that, mid-20s to 30-plus mark here for Chase Brown. So pick number 5. Going to be rocking with the over 21 fantasy score here for Chase Brown. And that is my 5 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prizepicks for the college football slate today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. If you haven't checked out the premium content packages, check those out. I will have the NFL packages up. I'll have an NFL video dropping here as well. But yeah, this is what we're rocking with for college football today. Hopefully we cash it in, go 5-0. Always the goal. Wishing you all the best of luck on your college football picks today, tonight, and we will see you in the next one.